Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Informal bringing you the weekly podcast here. We are on the 38th edition of the Mr. Informal Podcast. I hope you are doing well. In 2 weeks, Christmas is coming. Also, New Year's is coming. Times is going really, really fast. And the news in fashion and in tech are quite slow because everyone is going on a holiday, and this is the time when all the Christmas events, company parties are happening, and people and a lot of the developments are basically on hold. And so we got a couple topics to talk about. One and major one is our retailers are actually having less items in store, but more items online. But the result of that are customer fatigue. Number two, the battle of the Trump versus Patagonia. That's quite interesting. And then last but not least in the tech news is Qualcomm finally announced the Snapdragon 825, but not 825, 845. Let me repeat that again. They announced the Snapdragon 845, which will be powering your next cell phones, smartphones, or tablets. And so let's go ahead and start with the podcast. Well, in recent news, apparently from the article I read from rant.com, our retailers are now focusing on slower growth than faster growth ever before. Not only that, they are also slowing down their development of opening new stores because they want to focus on less items. Because from customer feedbacks that they are receiving, basically when they go to their store, there's so much items that they do not know where to go, that they suddenly just give up and leave the store. And they call it customer fatigue, which I don't even understand why they call it that term. But in any case, I think this is good news. If you ever walk into a Forever 21, whether it be Love Culture or even H&M, Zara, so and so, there's so much items and you basically do not know where to go. I wish they would have a map or like an IKEA style where you can just go around and have some sense of direction of where you want to go and what type of items you are willing to buy. And this is good because it will create an improvement in store designs, interior designs. Also, it would create a good direction for the brand so they know what the customers are looking for, what kind of items, what kind of fits. So when they go into the store, what they want to see first. Obviously, they will not have more items compared to their online stores, but on the other side of it, the customers do want to see the items that are also in store because the customer wants to try it on, wants to wear it, wants to see how it fits. And so there's a lot of challenge that a lot of retailers are going through, but this is when you suddenly focus on your brand and your target customer instead of trying to apply your items to a lot of customers, and just have to regroup, focus, and what type of demographics do you want to target. If you are, take for example Hot Topic, they are very targeted brand of customers. When a person walks into the Hot Topic, they know what to look for, they know what they're going to buy, because Hot Topic it doesn't sell the kind of items that you see in regular department stores. So when they come in, they know what to get, they know what to buy, and they are familiar with the store. And I could say the same thing with Louis Vuitton. Great example is they come in, you know what you want, and they don't have a lot of items. I mean, I shouldn't say they don't have a lot of items because it depends on the store you go to, but it doesn't feel like it's overwhelming when you get in there. It seems organized. I mean, you know what to look for, or your eyes can explore, can navigate easily. And so, compared to the other stores out there, and another great example of that is when you go to the store, you have to have a good sense of what to buy. But there are customers out there who don't know what to buy. They just want to see what stores they have, and they just get in and buy it. And so a lot of the boutiques out there do have a targeted customers. And so I think in this case, boutiques are quite well off compared to their retail competitors. And so I cannot wait to see what the future will hold in regards to retail designs, interior designs, obviously, and also the brand marketing that stores will do. And the thing about this is that it will change the way we look at the store. Hopefully, it will also change the brand itself, because I'm sick and tired of brand not having the motivation to actually adapt to the market needs. So, and also I can't wait what kind of items that the brands will carry compared to their online e-commerce. And so obviously you're gonna have more items in their e-commerce, but because of limited space. And so the battle between Patagonia and Trump continues. In recent news or recent announcement, President Donald Trump has made the decision to cut the size of bears' ears and grand staircase escalante. Basically cutting down the size of monuments. And a lot of brands such as Patagonia, REI, the North Face, and so are not pleased with this decision. Also, a lot of Native American activists are also not quite happy with this, because they see those lands are sacred wildlife that provide habitat for the animals, and also its history in the United States, or before the United States was born. And I do have to agree with them in this sense, because I think that having such monuments is great, especially when you want to go on a vacation, go on the outdoors, whether it be hiking, camping, explore the world, learn about the outdoors, learn about just life in general. By cutting down the size of these lands, what is it for? Is it for, obviously it's in Utah, so I don't think it's farming, I don't think it's for crops, I think it's for something else. And to me that's disconcerting, because it is disconcerting in a way that as population grows, more population are gonna go outside the city, outside the suburbs, and so more and more people. But the consequences of that is that, where do we draw the line of ruining or destroying wildlife and habitats? What about animals? We're basically killing and making these animals extinct, and also trees, and just basically disrespecting nature in general. And this is just part of it. I'm sure there'll be more lands or monuments, even parks, that can be downsized. Hopefully Yellowstone will not be downsized. Hopefully the Grand Canyon won't be downsized. I doubt anybody would want to live in the Grand Canyon. It's so hot over there. Heck, and if you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, it's absolutely spectacular. So that's the kind of monuments or landmarks that I do not want to downsize. The United States is big enough for a lot of people to populate, And obviously, as the year goes, even years and years in the future, population will grow because we have new technologies that can make people live longer. But back to the topic itself, as I said, I think that this is wrong for the president to do or even decide, because instead of focusing on this, why can't he focus on how about taxes? How about the unfair advantage of certain employees or employee rules? Even what about corporate? How about the illegal actions that our military do in different worlds or in different lands? So I think there's just a small thing that the president shouldn't even be concerning himself, but it's just politics, it seems. So moving on from politics to technology. So as of last week, Qualcomm has announced and recently released the specs for the Snapdragon 845, which will power our smartphones for 2018. Let me give you some specs right now. I don't even know what it means, but whatever. So Hexagon 685 DSP. We also have uses the new X20 LTE modem. We got Wi-Fi, Qualcomm acoustic audio, probably high bitrate audio, better system memory management. Got a graphics that's Adreno 630. We also have Qualcomm Spectra 280 SP, Hero 285 CPU with a secure processing unit. So I don't really know what that means, but let me just give you some of the specs that matter. So they have a new Qualcomm X20 LTE that says that it can go up to 1.2 gigabit per second, which means you can download more stuff in your phone much faster. You can view YouTube without skips or even pauses and all that stuff. You can have new Wi-Fi, obviously, that can connect much faster, and so. But we are reaching to the point where these specs don't even matter anymore, because we're almost at a limit where all smartphones can run smooth, where you don't even see hiccups, you don't see any slowdowns. We're reaching to that point. But all these specs don't even matter to me. What matters to me is what advantage do these things have compared to the previous processor? Because all I see is incremental upgrades. There's no revolutionary upgrade. There's no big step. I mean, all these companies want to talk about, the processor can make the phone thinner because we made the processor much smaller. There's no point of it if the phone cannot even survive in one day. I mean, think about it. All customer want is a good phone that lasts for a long time, whether it can last a whole day. And yet, I don't see that here in the specs. I mean, do we as a consumer always gotta accept the fact that phone manufacturers are raising the prices because it's using the cutting edge processor? Okay, why not just use the old processor and see how it is? I bet it can probably do the same thing. So I'm not really enthusiastic about this announcement or even this processor. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the advancement in technology, but what I want to see is advancement in technology in regards to a big step. What about actually providing an efficient processor that can actually save more battery? Because all I see is, Samsung just made a new graphene battery, but when is that going to release? I mean, all we talk about is new battery technology or new CPU. And if you look at the PC market, it's been stagnant. Nothing has changed. I mean, the battery is still there. How come I get more battery life on a phone than a laptop? Now I know what you're saying. Wait a minute. Laptop has more power. Yes, I agree. But again, why can't we have laptops that can last for 15 hours, even on a medium setting or medium brightness? And so maybe it's just wishful thinking, but I truly hope that maybe someday that people would have more motivation and more urgency to create a product that actually benefits us better compared to just benefits us just a little bit. And so that basically concludes the 38th edition of the Mr. Informal Podcast. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And if you have any comments down below, let me know. And I will see you on the next Mr. Informal Podcast. Bye-bye.